So we only got about a quarter left of this year. We're about to enter into fall. A lot of people say we have already. And that's the last season. Winter doesn't start till the very last days of December. So as the seasons change environmentally, so do the seasons of our life. If you would have told me a year ago that I would have devoted all this time to this effort, and most recently, surprisingly, made a video directed specifically to kids, I would have laughed, because that would have required me to change so much inside my heart. But surprise, life is surprising and has so many twists and turns. One of the many things that I struggle with in regards to this channel is that I have lived so much in such a short period of time, and I oscillate between sharing and holding back my personal experiences. I want to share the things that I have experienced because I truly do believe that they will help other people. However, to share, you have to make yourself vulnerable. And to make yourself vulnerable is to allow the possibility of someone hurting you. Intentionally, unintentionally, whatever. I guess I'm not strong enough for that yet. So I reserve my personal life for myself. So something that I am ruminating on is, what have I not done this summer? What do I want to do in these last final days as we transition from summer to fall? And I haven't finished developing my list, but one thing I still have not done is go to the botanical gardens. And it's been too long, so I have to do that. If I have not already mentioned it in a previous video, because they're all starting to blur together already, even though I've only made like 23. No matter what, it is so essential, it's critical to find a physical, happy place, a place that you go when you just want to be happy. And it's so special to you. And maybe you keep it private, maybe you share it with other people, but it's something that you identify so greatly with this place. There was a school shooting recently in Georgia. It provoked me. Violence is not the resolution. It is something that you will regret, and that the people around you will have a lifetime to recover from. So there's always an alternative besides violence. Deep, like, shock, because it happens so much that sadly we almost expect it. I didn't see this coming, but one of my ambitions for this channel is to empower the youth to see that there is life after high school. There's life after high school, and sometimes you don't even have a clear perception of what happened in your high school experience until you have graduated after several years. And for that reason, if you have not had a full perception, how can you know what all the possibilities are? How can you possibly act rationally when you don't see the full picture? And life is so much bigger than high school. High school is, what do they call it? A microcosm? I didn't do good in those classes in high school. I did okay. I did all right. And so let me just say that even if you're just doing all right in high school, it does not dictate the rest of your life, because half of life is perseverance. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't always mean how quote unquote book smart you are. It is about your perseverance, your resourcefulness, because you can be book smart all day long, and life is life. It gets at your core reasoning and coping abilities, which can continuously be developed if you are motivated and driven enough, and if you put yourself in a positive environment, whether that be physical or digital or whatever it may be. But you always have to observe your surroundings, even if your surroundings are something that you cannot actually touch. Boom. Imagine that. I will share this. When I was younger, I remember the blessing of encountering people in my family and in general that would tell me that I could be. They asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then I would tell them. And they say, you can do anything you want. Anything at all, if you put your mind to it. You can. You really can. You can. Make a plan. Make a plan. And when you make that plan, you look at it. You look at it every single day. When you make your plan, make yourself about 5 steps. And then when you make those 5 steps and you feel good about them, make these little sub-steps for yourself. The steps that are going to get you to the next steps. They are tasks. And you look at them. And you look at them every day. And if you don't hit what you want to hit, if you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish in the time frame, because time frames are important because they keep us focused. They keep our vision, okay? But if you don't meet that, it is okay. Do not discourage yourself. You have to always encourage yourself. And by encouraging yourself, you are kind and patient with yourself. But you have to be realistic with yourself. Okay? Because we live in reality. And that is how we propel ourselves forward to the next avenue. Okay? Always be protective of yourself. If you feel uncomfortable, If you feel like something is not serving you positively or productively, step back, assess the situation. Okay? It is okay. If you don't reach where you want to be when you want to be there, it is okay. It is okay. The goal is just to analyze and continuously readjust the plan accordingly. All right? Because when you are negative with yourself, it is unconstructive. It's deconstructive, whatever, however you say it. It's deconstructive for you, and it is deconstructive for the people in your environment. Now, when you have a plan, you need to write it down, okay? If you do that on a computer, an iPad, or like write with a pen and paper. If you want to paint your vision, you paint it. If you are a computer programmer and you want to design an entire website just for yourself, then you do that. My only recommendation, and this is just a recommendation, share your plan only with people that you know, proven from experience, they will actually help you with the plan. Okay, so pause. Just because somebody does not help you with the plan does not mean that you disassociate with them, okay? It does not mean that. It doesn't mean that we're angry at that person or hostile or whatever. They just don't know everything about us, okay? Nobody should know everything about you. There should be degrees of knowledge when it comes to revealing yourself, just like the onion theory. And that's okay. That's just life. You get to know some people more in depth than you know other people, but that's a beautiful thing. You can't know everything about everybody all the damn time. But doesn't that kind of sound exhausting anyway? I can hardly keep track of my own life and my own cat. Half the times he's asleep. So this video is targeted towards the broadest audience that I can imagine as it stands. This is for the adolescents still in high school, defining their identity, redefining their identity in, high school is chaos. I remember it was chaos. Just please keep in mind that amongst the chaos, it will come together. It will come together. Some things about your high school experience you won't understand until you graduate. You won't understand why that person was mean to you in history class until you graduate, and then they DM you and they ask you on a date, and then you realize that the things that they said because they really were conflicted and uncomfortable about the fact that they really, really liked you and they just didn't know how to say it out loud. Or maybe they didn't know how their friends would take it. So many things. This video is for anyone that is wanting to work on not only how to be beautiful on the outside, but also beautiful on the inside. And in that pursuit, they want to honor their own dreams and ambitions. And a little bit of encouragement goes a long way with anything, with a smile. I believe that people with dreams and ambitions, they smile just a little bit more, and so the next time you want to do something, you see something for yourself, and there's a voice that tells you that you can't, I dare you to challenge that voice and say, what if I can? What if I can? And what if I'm great at it? I dare you to scare that voice that questions you. I dare you to intimidate what tries to discourage you. Because when you leave off the this, all you have is the courage. Okay, so I know I've mentioned high schoolers, adolescents, quite a few times in this video. But a lot of what I have to say is applicable across the ages, across whatever age you are, or whatever age your heart is, your heart and your mind. Because we all know that plays a role too. So just take note of whatever resonates with you and whatever you think will help you in the future. Sometimes the things that help us now, they help us in the future, but sometimes unexpected things help us in the future. You'd be surprised. Always pay attention, always observe, always question. You don't have to ask those questions out loud all the time. Some of those questions are just for ourselves to ask, and the answer comes in many different forms. So what I am trying to say is this video is for anyone that's young at heart. I keep thinking I'm done with this video, but I keep on thinking of more things to say as I am cooking myself tacos. So what? If you didn't make the varsity football team, so what if you didn't make that school play? So what if you didn't do exceptional at the science fair? So what if you were in detention last week? So what? You have the advantage of continuously reinventing yourself and persevering despite everything. You can always surprise people no matter what. And I was in detention a few times when I was in high school. So what? Your future is something that you can mold now. Now is the best time to mold your future, but do not exhaust yourself in your effort. And if you feel like your future, if you're of a certain age, I'm diverting from people from high school. If you are of a certain age, you can still recreate your future. It is still something you can grab and take hold of. It doesn't stop. Believe me.